this local host, and the video capture software is crappy. And these avatars are crappy. These are the game engine avatars. I haven't put my own in yet. We're going to get ours specially designed because we've got so many different character types to cater for: gangsters, students, teachers, shoppers, business people. So we're going to get them specially made with a whole bunch of special animations according to character type. We don't want to run the same system through everybody, because each character type, once they're officially signed on and joined to their character type, they get a client system built according to their character type. So there'll be different clients for different users. Okay, this is the first node. It's kind of girly, greeny, lesbianish, on purpose, because we want new users who have never been into a virtual world to not sort of freak out at big, shiny, glossy things, you know. That's part of the keeping it real policy. Because we're catering for business people and bored housewives who sit at home with large credit cards and nothing to do. And like Facebook's a prime example of bored housewives. And so we want to capture that market, and later we'd like to, actually one of my server guys is working on a system where he can build a Java screen that runs from the bottom control panel, which we call the PDA, that'll run a Java screen that'll hook up with Facebook, but there's a whole lot of permissions that goes on there. But first up, we just got to design the thing. So this is a tutorial, real simple, nothing special. He clicked on a guy back there that gave him some quick speed. You see the brown dot at the screen blinking. Just to get them through their baby steps if they don't know how to use a keyboard or a mouse yet. Oh, pardon me. Okay, now the next one we go to is actually part of the Shaman map. And here is a quest area. It's also a museum, maritime museum. And Shaman does have a very famous maritime museum. Well, it doesn't look anything like this though. Okay, so here we have our quest masters. There's 4, maybe 5 quests available, I can't remember. Now remember, this is the pure beta version, not the updated beta version. So the quests here are real simple. The one on the servers before I pulled the servers down today were full completed quests. Here's a shopping quest where they get a shopping discount card. And I'm just running through the mill, the typical processes of doing this and doing that. Showing off the swimming ability. Now under the water, we're actually going to focus a lot of energy under the waters. Under the water is some quite beautiful scenery. I want to put some aquatic plants, fish, and I want to add a diving element as a type of smaller quest. Okay, that was the gangster quest. In this example he's just picking up his sword, but in the completed example he has to go off and kill a phantom gangster in the city, which I'll show you about later. Now I'm rushing through some parts here. If I showed you all of it, it would take me hours, so I'm just sort of skipping by, showing some main points as I'm going. Okay, so this is the port area of the Maritime Museum. Now the avatar is going to go into the town, the old port town. Now here I haven't done much decoration. Most of the stuff I just dragged up out of the engine. And someone asked me one day why we used these old European looking buildings, but actually in the olden times of Xiamen there were old European buildings, because Xiamen was a big port city, not just for Chinese. But later I'm going to, like you saw, there's going to be a temple there. I'm going to fill this area up with nostalgic Chinese memorabilia, you know, stuff that Chinese will look at and go, oh, I remember that, and foreigners look at it and go, oh, how quaint. Okay, now we're going through to the rest area. The rest area is going to be a major component in the game and probably have the hugest traffic flow. The PDA at the bottom, we call PDA, that also runs a GPS system. The PDA will have a battery power, or supposed battery power, of 3 hours of real-time gaming. That means every 3 hours a user either has to come back to this area and charge up in where I'm standing here, which will be a coffee house, and on the other side there'll be an entertainment center, charge up their battery for real time 5 minutes and then carry on their gaming. Now I put this in here for two reasons. It gets adults, singles, to mix and mingle under pressure, but it gets them doing it, and gets children a 3-hour time limit where parents can walk in after 3 hours and say, okay, turn it off, and they have to charge up their battery, so they okay, I'll turn the computer off. Now the next time they log in, of course, it's already charged, but it's just an element for kids' safety and getting people to mingle, because one of the things I found in all the other 3D worlds, virtual worlds, is that people will stand around with their thumbs up their butts and they're sort of like, oh, should I talk to him or should I talk to her? Well, just make it happen. Okay, this is the new development zone. This is an area where the first businesses are going, and this building here was commissioned by postercars.com. Now the two shops, one to the left and one to the right of Postercars, this is Postercars here, and Terry, his salesman, he rents out and he takes the profit of that because that's his building. So in this scenario, Postercars has rented an entire building. He takes a small income from the rents, and we take the larger money for the building cost. Now you can see that blue square over there. That will be another building, next customer that comes in. So we can sell shops, we can rent shops, we can sell building plots. Pretty much not very different from Second Life, but just somewhat more cleaner and more organized. I've taken a lot of ideas from Second Life, Kineva, and some of those other smaller virtual worlds, because essentially we're all trying to achieve the same thing, which is in an environment that's not www or not flat screened. Okay, now I'm walking up to now the portal for the education part of the game. Now, there's, like I said, there's many components. There's gangster gaming, race carring, policing, governmenting, educating, shopping, buying, selling, trading. So this is just another component here. Now I've done this red bubble thing to add a sort of fun element to education. We're going to offer language schools, language classes. Okay, this is the complex, copied after a famous Russian building. We're going to offer the classes cheap. We think, just because it's online doesn't mean it needs to be expensive. Most language schools inside China are wickedly expensive, and it's easily said 2/3 of China's population are learning languages. Learning English especially. So there's a massive market for us, and language learning is going to be one of the bigger money pools. So we have this magic carpet thing, give it all a nice feeling. This is building 1. Each building is a copy of this, 18 classes in all with a common room. The